Every evening after the employees went home, he carefully cleaned every floor of the company headquarters. As he worked, he noticed things others ignored. The sales department celebrated every Friday. The customer service team stayed late solving problems. Executives held meetings behind glass walls, discussing growth, leadership, and difficult decisions. Michael couldn't hear every conversation, but he observed everything. He began borrowing business books from the public library. During lunch breaks, he listened to free business podcasts. Instead of scrolling through social media after work, he spent hours studying leadership, communication, and finance. Nobody asked him to. Nobody paid him to. He simply believed that if opportunity ever knocked, he wanted to be ready. One rainy evening, while cleaning the executive floor, Michael noticed an envelope lying under the CEO's desk. It contained important documents that had accidentally fallen behind a cabinet. He could have left them there. Instead, he placed everything neatly on the CEO's desk with a short handwritten note. "Found these while cleaning. Thought you might need them tomorrow. Have a great day." The next morning, the CEO finally noticed the quiet janitor. Not because Michael demanded attention, but because he showed responsibility when nobody was watching. A few days later, the CEO stopped Michael in the hallway. "You're the one who left the note." Michael smiled. "Yes, sir." The CEO thanked him and walked away. It was only a 30-second conversation, but for Michael it meant something important. Someone had finally seen him. Months passed. One afternoon, the company announced an internal competition. Any employee, regardless of position, could submit ideas to improve the business. Most janitors ignored the announcement. Michael didn't. For weeks, he stayed up late writing a proposal. He had noticed that cleaning schedules, maintenance requests, and supply orders were still being tracked on paper. His idea was simple: digitize the entire system. It would reduce waste, save time, and cut thousands of dollars in yearly expenses. Management expected ideas from department managers. Instead, one of the strongest proposals came from the janitor. The executives were stunned. Not only was the idea practical, but Michael had included detailed calculations and a step-by-step implementation plan. His proposal won first place. Soon afterward, he was offered an entry-level position in the operations department. The transition wasn't easy. Some co-workers whispered behind his back, "He's just the janitor. He doesn't belong here." Instead of arguing, Michael let his work speak for him. He arrived early, stayed late, asked thoughtful questions, accepted every piece of constructive criticism, and little by little, respect replaced doubt. Years passed. Operations supervisor, department manager, vice president. Each promotion came because he solved problems instead of complaining about them. Then came the biggest crisis in the company's history. Revenue dropped. Customers were leaving. Employee morale reached its lowest point. The board of directors searched for someone who understood every corner of the business, not just the executive offices. They chose Michael. The former janitor became the company's new CEO. On his first day, reporters asked what success felt like. Michael smiled and replied, "I never chased the title. I chased becoming the kind of person who could carry the responsibility." Then he made his first company-wide announcement. Every employee, from executives to cleaning staff, would be invited to monthly innovation meetings. Because, as he said, the best ideas don't always come from the biggest office. Years later, visitors walking through Sterling Technologies noticed something unusual. The CEO greeted security guards by name. He thanked cafeteria workers. He often helped pick up trash if he saw it on the floor. Not because he had to, because he remembered exactly where he started. Success hadn't changed who Michael was. It simply revealed who he had always been. The lesson is simple. People often underestimate quiet workers because they only see today's uniform. But determination has no dress code, character has no job title, and sometimes the person pushing the mop today is quietly preparing to lead the entire company tomorrow. So never let your current position define your future. Keep learning, keep improving, keep showing up, because your opportunity may already be walking towards you, even if you can't see it yet.
What if I told you that the biggest mistake people make is quitting just one day before their breakthrough? A tiny bamboo seed stays invisible for 5 long years. No success, no growth, nothing. Then suddenly, it shoots up nearly 90 feet in just a few weeks. The question is, was it really doing nothing all those years? A young man named Ethan dreamed of building a successful life. Every morning he worked harder than everyone around him. He read books, learned new skills, and refused to waste his time. But months turned into years. His friends started buying houses, launching businesses, and celebrating promotions on social media. Meanwhile, Ethan felt,
"No matter what I do," he whispered to himself, "nothing changes." One rainy afternoon, frustrated and exhausted, he decided to visit an old gardener who was known for giving unusual advice. The old man listened quietly before smiling. "Come with me." He led Ethan to a small patch of soil. "What do you see?" "Nothing," Ethan replied. The gardener nodded. "Exactly. But beneath this soil is a Chinese bamboo seed." Ethan looked confused. "So?" The old man picked up a watering can. "Every single day I water this spot. I protect it from weeds. I make sure the soil stays healthy. But there's nothing growing." The gardener smiled again. "Not yet." He explained that during its first year, nothing appears. The second year, still nothing.
The third? Nothing. Even after the 4th year, people think the seed is dead. Many stop watering it. Many give up. But those who keep believing, the old man said softly, discover something incredible. In the 5th year, the bamboo suddenly bursts through the ground and grows astonishingly fast. Ethan asked, "Why does it wait so long?" The gardener gently touched the soil. "Because before it grows upward, it must grow downward." He explained that during those invisible years, the bamboo builds an enormous root system. Without deep roots, it could never support its incredible height. If it grew quickly from the beginning, he said, the first strong wind would knock it down. Those words stayed with Ethan. He realized he had been measuring success by what everyone else could see. But maybe his own roots were still growing. The strongest people often spend years preparing before anyone notices their progress. Every failure teaches resilience. Every disappointment builds patience. Every challenge strengthens character. Growth isn't always visible. Sometimes the most important work happens where no one can see it. If you're working hard and feel like nothing is changing, don't assume you're failing. You may simply be building the roots that will support the future you've been dreaming about. Remember, success isn't about how fast you rise. It's about whether you're strong enough to stay standing once you get there. The bamboo never rushed. It trusted the process. And because it did, it grew higher than anyone imagined. So before you think about giving up today, ask yourself one question. What if your roots are almost ready?